Hi, I'm Alexandra Harbush with Life with Herpes.
And I'm Kirsty Spraggan, Kirsty TV.
Talking about herpes. And it's interesting because we both went public.
We did.
With our herpes story. So how was that for you?
Traumatic. Like at first.
Yeah.
It has...
I watched it.
100%. You did? Mm-hmm. Which one did you watch?
Your 10.
Okay. So I did the TEDx talk, but about a month before that, I filmed a video that's on YouTube, and I think it's titled as I Have Herpes. Mm-hmm. And it's me in my bedroom doing the Oprah ugly cry. Mm-hmm. And I actually didn't think that I was ever going to share that video online. Okay. Like the TEDx talk, I got my shit together.
Well, you're
and
on
even
stage.
though I was nervous, I was a speaker, so I was fairly comfortable. I was nauseous all day. I was in the bathroom. I wanted to throw up because for me, going public wasn't just about, like, I knew that I could help people, but there was this part that's like, I'm a motivational speaker. I'm talking to tens of thousands of corporate clients, Xerox, KPMG, Fortune 500 companies, and I'm going to have this video up that states I have herpes in the title every time they Google Kirsty Spraggan for the rest of my life. That. And there was a part of me that didn't want to be identified as the herpes girl. I didn't want to become the ambassador for herpes. Mm-hmm. And I have no shame around it, but I'm more than that. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what earlier when we were talking about dating, it's like I don't want everything at the forefront to be Kirsty and herpes. And so I felt like I did a really good job with the TEDx talk of making it more universal around shame and vulnerability. And the ugly crying video that went up actually got way more
Everyone's
views
going to go watch that
else.
right now.
Go and watch that one with the ugly cry. But the thing is, I filmed it for myself. I was interviewing a guy that day who had HIV. Uh-huh. And I knew when I interviewed someone on Kirsty TV that had an STD, there was just always a part of me that knew that would be the thing that broke me down.
Yeah.
And that day, I decided just to sit in my bedroom with my laptop and just share my story. And I didn't plan on sharing it publicly. I just wasn't sure what. I just knew I had to share it and get it out. So I sat down and recorded it like a little video diary. Mm-hmm. And when I went to do the TEDx talk, I'd shared it with my assistant, and she's like, no, this is the video that actually has to be put up there. And I'm just like, no, I can't. And I was just so scared. Like, thinking back now, it's like, it's seriously the best thing I ever did because it freed me up to work more with people around trauma and healing. And it was the catalyst, doing that TEDx talk, for shifting my speaking away from sales and branding, which I used to talk on, to personal growth and healing. And so it's shifted everything. But at the time, I was nauseous and terrified and didn't know what it would mean for everyone to know this and never be able to take it back.
Absolutely. I know. I actually, the first time I told the world, I was on stage also. Mm-hmm. So it was the same thing. Your heart's going, and the whole time, like getting on the plane, you're like, should I really be going to this conference? Every little step you make, right. You're like, oh, if it's delayed, maybe I shouldn't be going.
It's a sign.
All these little things, right? Like eating breakfast. Like I was all nervous, the whole thing. Right. I spent a lot of time worrying about my outfit as well, though. I was like, well, at least I'm gonna look good if this just goes bad. But
if this goes bad, I had a great dress on.
I did. I had a red one, big bright red dress on. But the same thing, I had.
See, I have the ugly cry now for the rest of my life.
Well, I can work on that.
I didn't have a great dress. But there's times when I think about pulling that video down.
You can't.
And it has 4 times as many views as the TEDx video. And there's a part of me that just knows that at first when I thought about taking it down, it was because I'd get people responding like worried about me.
Yeah.
Like, are you okay? Yeah, you should, life will go on and that. And it's like, guys, I'm putting out this there to show. Yeah. So I feel like I let go of that because I realized that anyone new who's coming in was getting so much from it. And it was the one that I got more emails and DMs about than anything else. So it's an act of service. I feel like when I have this piece I do in a new talk I do around truth telling, and I say that we have a collective responsibility, because when I told my truth that I had herpes, I would say that over half of my relatives, friends, colleagues all said to me too. And what I thought to myself was, where the fuck were you? Where the fuck were you when I was 20 years old and broken and thought I was the only one on earth that had this? But just as much as I say, where the fuck were you? It's like, where the fuck was I?
To someone
'Cause
else,
I
the
could
next
have
person.
told them too. It was
Right.
just as much my responsibility
Right.
that I didn't say anything to family and friends. So I feel like we have this collective responsibility with sharing our truths, and whether it's being raped or abused as a child, whether it's suffering from addiction, whether it's having an STD, I think that the more we tell our truths, the more that we can help everybody.
I agree 100%. And I was going to say that when I was on stage, I noticed that three things happened, right? Either, well, one, everyone went silent. Like, you know, when they're on their phones, they're like, what did she just say? So you hold the audience. Number two, they came up and said, I have it too. Or they came up and said, I don't have this, but I have my own story.
Right.
And so just to get to the point or you know, everybody has a story. Like you said, whether it's addiction, whether it's rape, whether it's child abuse, or whatever it is, we all have a similar story, and it's all a story that impacts us, and we can choose, are we going to be this victim to it? Are we going to let it keep us small? Are we going to let it, or are we going to just say, you know what, you are in the past, and I'm going to move forward, and if I can help someone else, great.
We perpetuate the shame, and the stigma only comes by the collective hiding and the collective feeling like this is an issue.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, guys. And if you want to find more about us, you can check me out at Kirsty TV on YouTube. And
you can go to Life with Herpes for more. And of course, if you're wondering about herpes diagnosis or treatment or anything to do with that world, go to herpalert.com.